Hey guys, I told you if you were really good, I'd tell you about some of the challenges of working out, especially your chest muscles after breast cancer. And I've really been a chicken. I told you I joined a gym. Really, I haven't even touched the weights. And I was laying in bed last night trying to think about, well, why haven't you? You know you want to lift weights, to build more muscle, to build more core stability, so on and so forth. Plus, you always felt great when you worked out. And by workout, I'm talking about weights this time. And it came down to fear. So I thought maybe this week we would talk about some of the fears that I have, and I'm sure that some of you have, about lifting weights and about working your chest muscles and to some degree your shoulders and triceps after having the surgeries. And in the comments, if you guys have any questions about working out after breast cancer, good exercises to do, let us know and we'll address it in a future video. Well, I grew up thinking that you don't have to have a mammogram until you're 50. Well, my doctor, who's can't be more than in her early 30s, said, no, they've kind of changed that. Now they want you to do it at 40. And I'm like, okay, fine, write me the script. She wrote me a script, and it sat on my bathroom counter, folded up, right underneath the light switch for 3 or 4 months, because I'm like, I'm only 44. I really don't have to do this until I'm 50. But my husband at the time was like, no, you should really go ahead and do that, because sometimes, you know, they change rules for a reason. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that. So I went in and had a great tech, and I can tell you why she was a great tech. She actually twisted my body to get the entire breast, which is important because I later had a problem and had a technician tell me that it's a good thing that my tech was so experienced for my first mammogram, because sometimes they don't get all the way back to the chest wall on the pictures. So I had my very first mammogram, and they called me 4 days later going, well, the radiologist didn't really like your mammogram. We want you to come back in. So I went back in. They took more pictures, and they said, oh, can you wait in this little room over here? And I'm like, well, that can't be good. And the radiologist came downstairs to talk to me about the pictures and said, yeah, I really don't like the looks of some of the calcifications in your mammogram. We'd like to do a biopsy. And then we got the biopsy back, and both spots that they had biopsied were cancer. Well, I had a lumpectomy, and then I had another lumpectomy, which is another long, complicated story that really has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But after the lumpectomies, I had radiation on the left breast and chest wall.
So, was the subject of working out something you talked to the doctor about at all?
No, because at the time I was still fat and happy.
Well, would you, for the viewers, would you recommend that it's something they talk with their doctor about?
Absolutely. I would now, because I've started trying to be healthier, and I've started making the decision to take my health into my own hands and be my own advocate. So if working out is important to you, and everybody knows it should be, sometimes it isn't, but if it is important to you and something like this comes up, talk to your doctor about it. I think as women, we're taught to care for other people before ourselves. So I actually felt kind of selfish, which is terrible that I had to, but I did. I felt kind of selfish saying, well, you know what? I have to do what's right for me. I have to work out. I have to eat better. I have to lose weight. But yeah, I kind of dove into it, and if you saw the post last week, you see how it paid for it. But yeah, I kind of went in gung-ho. Mainly about lifting weights, because one of the spots that they removed was on my chest wall. I mean, it was all the way back against the pectoral muscle. And I also had 7 lymph nodes removed from under my arm. And they all came back clean, thank God. But I'm still, even a year and a half after surgery, I'm still kind of numb here. And I don't know if when I start lifting with the amount that they had to take out of the muscle, I don't know if that's going to create a spot of weakness or muscle imbalance. And I think one of the things that I'm afraid of is having weights above me, trying to do a bench press, and I lose the strength on my left side. I think what I'm going to do first is use the machines at the gym, because I have that fear of the free weights at the moment. I think I'm going to use the machines because they're more controlled. And if I should have some weakness on the left side, which I probably don't, I'm probably just being chicken, I'm safer that way. And then I can actually build up the strength that I need to use the free weights. Another thing that I'm scared of and that I'm gonna have to get over is I spent 4 months kind of like this. So I'm afraid of doing flies, chest flies, where I have to move my arms out too much, because I don't feel that I have the flexibility, at least in the left side, which is obviously where the surgeries were, because I keep grabbing my left boob. And I'm really afraid of stretching the muscle too far. Well, I have mentioned it to my primary care doctor, and she said, go ahead and do it. She said, just do it smart, do it slowly, low weights at first until you ascertain where you are. I don't think I need to talk to my surgeon about it, though I'd love to see her again. She was great, because, well, I'm out of her care now. But yeah, I think when you're in this and it's taking over your whole life, because at least for me, it really did. I mean, having a cancer diagnosis just owned me. I mean, it just completely owned me. It was all I could think about. Working out is so important for just strength and stability in our bodies that, yeah, you definitely have to talk to your doctor about it. Whether you're pre-surgery, post-surgery, post-radiation, find out what your doctor wants you to do for you. Your diagnosis doesn't have to own you. It non-metastatic breast cancer can be beat. Metastatic breast cancer can be beat. Get your mammograms if you've never had one. Follow your doctor's recommendations for it. Don't think like I did that just because there's no family history doesn't mean that you can't possibly have breast cancer. And keep working out, because you will guard. I mean, it's a normal physiological response that when we have pain in a body part, we guard. You will guard. You will lose strength. You will lose flexibility. Obviously, don't go out and do 3 sets, 12 reps the day after you have surgery. But as soon as you're cleared for exercise, start stretching, especially if you have problems with like lymphedema. Stretch those muscles. The lymphedema will ease somewhat. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.